Hello everyone, what is up? Welcome back to another episode by the Pokemons. But I wanted to do something very nice with you all. I wanted to take a look at this binder, which I theoretically started creating at the end of 2020 when I came back into the Pokemon card hobby. In the future there will be a video where I do what I collected when I started versus what do I collect now. For today we're just gonna take a look at what I collected back then. It has been filled with some 2022-2023 cards, random, but most of it is not newer than 2021. I have some cards to add to the binder. Let me talk you through it as well. And let's have some fun, so sit back and relax and enjoy. Okay, so basically when I came back into the hobby, the first thing that we did was someone came to my house with a ETB of Shining Fates. They had a binder as well. And I started collecting Shining Fates, and that was what got me hooked basically on Pokemon. I started buying some collection boxes, some ETBs, some booster boxes occasionally, and I started cracking those packs as well. We had a lot of fun, but I think that was the period where I lost the most money. During celebrations, I think I spent about $1,000 in 7 months, maybe even more money, on cracking the packs open. And I pulled 3 Charizards, a couple of Gold Mews. Sounds very nice all in all, but for example the Umbreon value, the Gold Star Umbreon, it was valued around €120 at one point. It was insane, no one sold anything. And now the value is about 25 to 30 bucks, maybe sometimes below 25 bucks. Then I started to buy single cards, and that is when we came here. I wanted to have a large collection, so this binder is maybe a couple of $100. I can say some estimates. For example, I know I purchased this for 80 cents to €1.20, €1, €1, €3, €2. If you keep in mind €10 for the page, €20 for the page, that is how I will now call the values. So €10 for one page, I'm now purchasing cards for €10 a piece. You can really tell when someone else just started out and what their collecting strategy is. So my collection strategy after purchasing all those packs and deciding to go for singles, I wanted to have a large quantity of cards. I want to have some cards in my binder. Due to the budget, it couldn't be all expensive cards. And my choice fell onto, for example, some of the Shining Fates cards. Those shinies are really nice, especially now when we get Paldean Fates. They have a similar look over it. Some of my favorite Pokemon's, starter Pokemon's, for example Rillaboom. Here we have the Zacian V, one of my favorite cards as well, but you can't collect everything, you have to make choices. Also really considering to just sell a large portion of this binder and use the space for something else, and especially the money too. On the other page we have some Pikachus. I believe those are still pretty valuable. I mean, like $1.50, $2. This is all $1, $1.50 as well, $2. These are 50 cents, not worth that much. Promos, some more promos worth about $1. Yeah, like I said, $10 a page. Here we have some newer cards, Crown Zenith, in a collector box. So here we have some Raichus. You can really see I was already collecting Pokemon cards in a certain theme. Here we have the Pikachus, the Shinies, some GXs. Basically purchased everything what was cheap and what I could get my hands on in a larger quantity than one. I also traded a lot back then, so with friends, if I purchased something, they had something equally valuable or maybe a bit more or a bit less. I was definitely in for a trade. So here we have some Brilliant Stars cards a bit later. This Raichu is one of my favorite Raichu cards that I have currently. Now this is an interesting page. We have the legendary dog Pokemon, Entei, Raikou and Suicune V. They're from Brilliant Stars and Evolving Skies. Entei is doing well in the TCG now, as well as Raikou, and Raikou is currently about $10. I sold them all for $2 basically. I bought them for $1.50, sold them for $2. Raikou now $10 due to its playability in the Miraidon deck. So here we start to see some Pokemon Go cards, Shiny Fates and Sword and Shield promo. Ampharos is one of my favorite Pokemon since the Neo generation basically. Wish I had some of the older Ampharos cards, I might look at it in the future. Snorlax, this was at $1.5 as well. Traded it with someone for a booster pack. They pulled a Lily card out of the booster pack. Well, this one just collapsed in value and went back to $3 maybe. I really like this artwork. I might purchase some more despite it being only $1 cards. Alakazam, one of my favorite Pokemon. And as you can see, I'm really a fan of the starter Pokemon. We have some Infernape, Cinderace, Rillaboom again. I noticed Lucario is a very popular Pokemon in the community, so I thought maybe purchase one of each. I got one also in German. I had to send it back to the seller. So the Dialga, when it was released, it was about $20. Now it's about $2 to $3. So I haven't purchased this one, but I pulled it and I have not sold it. That's what happens with most of my cards, but I hope eventually the value will go back up. Arceus V from the figure collection box, premium collection box. We have the Tyranitar Fusion Strike here, very cool card. Tyranitar is a fan favorite Pokemon. There are some new cool illustration rares of it as well, and the future version of it too. Inteleon, a starter Pokemon. Legendary Pokemon Palkia, just like Dialga and Arceus. What is this? This is the page where we can add some stuff to the binder. Crown Zenith ETB, Pokemon Go ETB, Shining Fates ETB, 151 ETB, Obsidian Flames ETB even, and a Chinese SVP1. This was a crazy time as well. It was a bit later. It was 2022. I thought it might have been 2023, but it was already 2022 when this card was released. Here we have 3 Mewtwo's of the 151 UPC. Let's add it to the binder because why not? Yeah, this was a really hyped up card. Purchased some for $9. I sold some for between 12 and $15. And now the value plummeted and I'm still having one for my own collection. But it is now because the Japanese version came a bit later or something. I don't really know what the reason was that this Chinese card was so expensive, but I do like it. It has a cool packaging. For me it didn't really matter which language it was. The English version was only released with Paldean Fates ETBs. Paldean Evolved. Not sure if I want to collect them or sell them. We have some space here in the binder. And now I think we're at the Japanese section of this binder. So here again you can see popular legendary Pokemon, starter Pokemon, fossil Pokemon. I'm a huge fossil fan as well. Kabutops, Aerodactyl, Omastar, Kingdra. Might have told that in the Battle Styles edition as well that I collect a couple of Kingdras. But yet again I was searching on Card Market, the European card market, and whatever my budget was for that month to spend on the hobby, I spend it on these kind of cards and also on loose booster packs. That's a story for another time. But I think in the end that was a wrong decision to spend it on these kind of cards. Rayquaza might be worth a couple of dollars, maybe 2, 3. Blastoise might be a bit worth a bit more, €2. I don't really know. And I'm not talking about an average price here guys, I'm talking about the lowest market value that you can probably get it right now. Don't quote me on the numbers exactly. Probably not much, that's what I'm trying to say. But here we have the Tapu Lele that is also featured in Celebrations. Thought it was cool to have the original one as well. Incineroar and also Zeraora are 2 very cool Pokemon in my opinion. I thought, okay, let's make a cool collection, talk a bit about it. I actually have some items now that went up in value and we can discuss that another time. Unless it's in this binder, then we will talk about it now. Alright, here we are at the birds collection. In another binder I have a couple of more birds. I really liked the Zapdos, Moltres and Articuno. I have a couple of those promos, the stained glass ones. I recently even ordered the WP promos, Wizards promos, sealed. Couple of each one. Excited to see that order arrive. Back to the story. So here we have Moltres and Zapdos in their Galarian form. I have never seen it in the anime. Not certain if it was ever featured in the anime. Here we have a nice Crown Zenith / V-Star Universe art rare. Here we have the Articuno. Of course we can't forget about those. A couple of Mewtwo's, 80 cents to $1 a piece. Sold some for $1.20, $1.50. It was the hustle. So here we have some Eevee heroes, but also VMAX Climax. It's a mix, 069, S6A, S8B, 184. Those are the evolutions again. When I started back collecting, I thought this was a very important part of my collection. Even though the cards were about 50 cents to $1.50 to some were a bit more valuable, definitely. Maybe $2 to $3. And I wanted to get every regular fee 2 times, every regular fee max 1 time. I have not persuaded that. But as you can see, I have a couple of the evolutions. So to round it up for today, we have Arceus V Star yet again. Dialga V and V Star. Don't ask me why, but I missed the Palkia line entirely. We have some Eternatus, legendary Pokemon. And we have some Rayquazas. So I was really into selling and buying Rayquazas. When the hype was on its peak, I have sold dozens of Vs and V Maxes. And I think 10% profit each one. It counts as a sale, right? So it doesn't matter what you sell. If it's $100 or $1, it counts as a sale. It's a lot of effort for low profit. In terms of money, in percentage, 10% is really nice. We're almost at the end. Some Zoroarks, some Azentas, Zacians, Blaziken, one of my favorite starter Pokemons with Torchic at the start. And you see yet again some of those legendary dogs. Dragonite some more. Luminion was the first Japanese card, especially this Luminion, that I pulled from a boost pack. I wanted to sell it sometimes, but I thought, okay, it's a nice story as well. It was my first Japanese V. There is no hurry on selling it for me. If I decide to sell cards from this binder, I will put this Luminion specifically in another box. Another Evolution, Leafeon VMAX, Inteleon VMAX, Rayquaza VMAX yet again. Mimikyu and Dragapult, I've sold a couple of those as well for €1 to €2. Regigigas, Decidueye, Machamp, Pidgeot, Typhlosion. Another Dragapult card from Rebel Clash. Crobat, very important card in the TCG as well at the time. It rotated out. We have a cool energy card here. If you hold this against the light, you see the fighting symbol in there. Not sure if everybody is familiar with this card. If you're not, well, I can't remember. S12A is the set number. I might purchase some more of these energies. And in the meanwhile, do you also see the Pokeballs when you shift it? Very cool type of hollow foil. The Pokeballs and the fighting symbols. Very cool card. To round it up, we have some bulk character rares. I like to collect cards with the trainer and the Pokemon on them. We have Jasmine, Melanie. I can't remember this character. And I forgot the name of this one too, but this one is drawn and designed by Mitsuhiro Arita. Very cool card. And here we have the Yveltal. 50 cents. These are maybe $1.50. That is how I started collecting Pokemon cards. After opening a ton of booster packs and realizing that was not the way to go in the long run. This has some sentimental value since I'm now collecting for about 3 years. But I'm obviously definitely into selling those cards. It's not really like I had them from my childhood or something. So I hope everybody enjoyed this episode. Leave a like on the video if you did. Have a good day and I'll see you all back on the next one. Okay, see ya.